It's Weekend only on the Nigerian Television Authority every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Love can be unconditional and unconventional. But what is critical, what is integral is that can the love endure? Can it stand the test of time? So whatever you're experiencing, you must realize that it takes two, those involved in the matter of that love, to ensure that the love thrives. Well, Francis has been working. He moved from unconditional to unconventional and sought to find how love can thrive, can survive, can surmount, and we can talk about it on Weekend. Francis, please take it from here.
Human relationships are among the most valuable aspects of life, whether between family members, friends, or even colleagues. Enduring relationships are not built overnight. They require continuous effort and intentionality. The following key principles help strengthen bonds between friends and family members.
Respect for one another. Value what I value. You may not value them, but don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect my value. Because the more you keep pushing and disrespecting my value, I get resented towards you. Our conversation becomes impeded. Our conversation become narrow. Before you know, bonds and relationships start breaking. Respect my opinion.
One, tolerance in every family unit or in every relationship is one of the key factors that strengthen bonds and interaction among people. People should also realize that one of the major reasons that strengthen bonds in family could be what people are taught over time to believe in. So the belief system generally now is another.
One of the biggest threats to any relationship is ego. It manifests as pride, stubbornness, and unwillingness to compromise.
Ego is about your self-worth. Ego is about the fact that you know your worth, your sense of worth and value. That is what ego is. Unfortunately, some persons have so much inflated ego that it starts coming out in different forms. It comes out as arrogance. It comes out as pride. It comes out as you don't just want the other person to be heard. You just feel you are right at all times. It is either my opinion or nobody's opinion. It is either my way or nobody's way. And that is what ego does.
When you think that you do not need anybody, people also tend to keep communications and relationship interaction away from you. And once you are not interacting, you are not communicating with people, you find out that your ego leads you to nowhere.
Another threat that affects relationship is the concept of entitlement mentality.
An entitled person is the person that asks for favor, receives favor, but don't give it back. An entitled person is someone that feels superior in his or her own way. An entitled person is a person that doesn't like compromising, doesn't like negotiating. Just, it has to be me, my own way.
In some families, for instance, once one person is doing well, the other ones expect that such person, allows the blessings that God has given to him to trickle down to all of them. They make it look so much as if it is their right that such blessings must get to them from the person who is doing well. In that sense, it could lead to friction when the person is not doing what they expected. It could also degenerate to envy. And of course, when it gets to that level, squabbles, crises, and even fight that will lead to dangerous end.
All relationships go through difficult phases, whether due to financial struggles, health crises, misunderstandings, or external pressures. How these challenges are handled determines whether the relationship will survive or collapse.
When you get to that rocky stage, pause. Practice calmness. Ask yourself what is happening. assess yourself, assess the relationship, assess, pause deliberately, because a lot of times we're always on the move. We're always on the move. We want to do this, we want to achieve this. You're not saying, there is a problem here. One thing is for you to see that there's a problem, and when you see it, you start asking questions. I mean, questions that will prompt answer, not questions that will make you triggered. So when we are not on the same page, be calm. Look for help when necessary. Stop saying third party is not should not be involved in our relationship. Nobody should. It is about us. Sometimes when you is not working, look for an external help. Look for an external help. External help from professionals. External help from people that you know they value your relationship.
One, understanding proper, timely, and consistent communication. 3, tolerance.
Ultimately, relationships that endure are those built on love, trust, and the shared willingness to nurture and sustain them through all of life's seasons.
Wow. Wow. Let's give it up for the CEO of String Kings, Mr. Dare. That was amazing. Totally.
Beautiful,
Woo!
beautiful. Well done, Dari. That was beautiful.
Thank you
You
very
took
much.
us somewhere. Thank God we are back here. Because at the point, I said, let me go there and stay there. I won't say where that place is, but well, that was beautiful. Now, we all want our love to last long. We don't want to eat breakfast. But for some of you that don't understand what it means to chop breakfast, is heartbreak. We don't want our heart to be broken. But for your relationship or your love to endure, it takes a whole lot of sacrifice, a whole lot of dedication and hard work. Now, another question I would ask is, what is ego and what is the place of ego in a relationship? Don't bother answering because NTA Lagos has got the answers. Let's see it.
Relationships that endure are often built on a foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and love. However, one of the most significant barriers to maintaining a healthy relationship is the presence of ego. Ego can be a double-edged sword.
When your partner constantly criticizes the other partner, it's going to make the other person look stupid, as if he or she doesn't have a brain. So it's, at the long run, affects their self-esteem. And at the end of the day, that other partner feels less of him or herself. Also, gaslighting. When you gaslight, is a psychological manipulation in which a partner tends to make the other partner doubt his or her perception, her memories, his memories, or sanity. That's a situation where you start thinking, am I correct?
Ego can come in form of lack of respect, controlling and dominating behavior, emotional, physical abuse, lack of respect for boundaries, love bombing, possessiveness, and constant need for validity.
Recognizing ego in relationships can be challenging. A lot of people ignore this red flag, which results in severe damages later on. What are some red flags that indicate an ego problem in a relationship?
Each time a partner wants to raise an issue or you want to discuss something of concern, they avoid it. They're always on the defensive. That is one of the signs. Once your partner is always on the defensive, you know there is ego being placed.
Ego destroys humanity. It erodes the fundamentals of human existence. And it can be so destructive as to erode the self-will of the victim, to the extent that even when the person is abused, you live in denial.
The potential for conflict is vast when ego is left unchecked in a relationship. When one partner is threatened, they may become overly critical, dismissive, or even abusive.
For a partner who has low self-esteem, one of the things they will readily do is they want to compensate for their self-inability, what they are not able to do. They already know that I'm not sufficient. They are feeling I'm not adequate. So they want to compensate, and you see them start behaving, they start displaying ego-driven behaviors.
Ego can be a significant challenge in relationships, but it is not insurmountable. How can we manage ego in relationships and prioritize empathy and humility?
If your partner can go in for counseling, because a lot of pride is involved and is condoned by negative sociocultural complexes, oftentimes the woman should apologize. There is dignity in begging a woman. A lot of individuals have mental breakdown now because they are forced or caged in egoistic vices of their partners. Enough is enough.
To manage ego in relationship takes a lot of effort. It takes self-awareness, and it takes the readiness to prioritize empathy and humility.
Ego plays a significant role in shaping our relationships, often leading to conflict and harm. By cultivating empathy and humility, we can create a safer, more supportive environment in our relationships where both partners feel heard, valued, and respected.
And even if you're talking to somebody else about your relationship, be it maybe you haven't walked down the aisle, you've not tied the knot yet, it involves somebody else. We're coming to learn that rather than talk to somebody else, talk to the person involved in that relationship with you, and talk to hear, talk to listen, talk to bring about solutions. Well, the learning curve continues, and that's how our experts are here to add their voice, their expert analysis to what we're talking about. But all with that cheerful man is still in the season of love. We welcome a philosopher, Mr. Oluwole Olakayode. He's here, but we see his profile first, and then we get to meet him. Okay, nice having you on
welcome.
Weekend Deal. It is Mr. Oluwole Olayode, and Abdul Razak is in the middle. That's something we're more familiar with. Welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you. I
Welcome
appreciate
to Weekend Deal.
Thank you.
Okay, another amazing guest is here. He is a relationship expert. He is Abiodun Adegoroye. Let's see his profile.
Welcome to Weekend Deal, sir.
Thank you.
Relationship coaching and a philosopher. You know what? Behind the scenes, I was asking you, I said, you know, what is the success rate? Because what we see mostly on media, what we see online, what we hear, broken. In fact, sometimes when they bring up relationships, lovely looking couples who dress well, who have what it takes, who have worked hard, who seem to have been building together. We see their pictures, their profiles, see them at outings in 2023. Before the end of 2024, we'll see many stories online where the anchor will spend time designing canvas stories that show a split. Out of the 15 we celebrated, we finally about 3 or 4 left. And before we enter this year again, from that 3 we're celebrating with, only 1 left. So I asked you about the success rate. When you talk with couples, when you tell them what you have is worth saving, what is the feedback you get? How does it work?
I think that it depends on what they count as important. It's very funny to me that, well, I had a life-threatening experience. I had cancer some many years ago.
Wow.
And as I was sitting on the chair, taking chemo and all that, I look at people who have life. And I wonder how you can even get angry, you know, express anger in a very bad way and all that. You don't even recognize that you have life. So my priorities changed and I became wiser in that kind of situation. So I look at it, I mean, 2 people are having conflict. Conflict is inevitable. You go into a relationship, no matter how sweet it is, you are going to have, because you are 2 different people brought up differently. So you are going to have conflicts. So how do you resolve that? Many people don't have the skill. And so when they start having this conflict, I'll have to ask them, what is important to you? What do you really want? Do you want peace? Do you want to have love? Love is better than bitterness, than hatred. So if you really want that, you have to work for it. It's not something that is automatic. And unfortunately, socioculturally, we don't prioritize on teaching this to our children. In fact, we are too busy trying to make money. We don't even teach the proper values. So sometimes you see that people don't know how to even handle conflicts. How to say, I was wrong, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Simple things like that. People won't do it. Men won't do it.
Yeah, a lot of them
You know, things like that. So that is why. But once you're able to get into people and let them know that it's better for them to be able to resolve something, they'll be happier, they'll be more peaceful and so forth. And there must be a standard. For me, God is the ultimate standard because He defines relationships.
Yes.
He brought Adam and Eve together. But very soon, that woman, it was that woman you gave me. You see, there was a split. There was a rift in the Garden of Eden because they were not going to listen, they were not listening to God. So when we listen to the wisdom of God, it makes sense. And then we'll be able to resolve our conflicts.
Interesting. Interesting.
Very, very interesting.
I'm looking at him and he said he survives cancer, and I'm saying that okay, when I come back to you, let me leave that because there's so many questions I want to ask regarding that. But let me go to Mr. Abdul Razak. So once again, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, what do people say love, enduring love? Like I said earlier, everybody wants love to last forever. But do you think that love needs help? And I say this to mean that, like friendship, should love go with friendship? the two people in love, should they build friendship? Should they build other things apart from the love, that magic that happened the first time they met? For love to last the whole hug, do you need to build in friendship and understand? What do you need to build to make your love last?
All right, thank you. Let me start by letting us understand some concepts.
Okay.
Because when I came here, I started hearing this word enduring, and you equally mentioned it in your statement here. Yes. So for me, I look at it, I said, why do you endure what you need to enjoy? So we like saying, let's endure in love, let's endure. Why do we endure? Because love is to be enjoyed, not to be endured.
Okay.
So now, giving us that vibe to endure, keep enduring, this is how it will be. No, that is wrong in itself. So we need to just understand that love on its own is the way it is wired is to be enjoyed. So you don't endure what you need to enjoy.
But if we are to be realistic, sorry to come in here, but to be realistic, because love on its own is not isolated. Love involves people who are on this life's journey, and the things we take in on a daily basis entail us to endure to a point, surmount, build, then succeed. In all of that, it doesn't change the fact that we have a relationship. So the endurance perhaps is not the love in itself, but everything else that comes with being a human being on planet Earth.
Yeah, let me still go back again.
Before you go back, let me say something to what Thelma says. Endurance in this case would mean that, for example, I love you, you have to go abroad for 2 years. That period of staying here and loving you, the love is enduring.
Yes.
Let's say I don't know what I don't like. I don't, sir. Yes, I don't know whether you were in a relationship or married at the time your cancer hit. But there was a woman who stayed there.
Yes.
There was a woman who was holding his hand. That is the enduring we're talking about. Not suffering and crying in a keke na pep. I don't like that kind of endurance.
Okay.
Let me make it clear.
But sometimes, even when you're enduring the keke, you are going somewhere. From the keke, you move on. You go somewhere. To the bicycle, to the motorbike, and then the vehicle. Yes. It's a growth process.
It's a good process.
Let me explain some things.
Okay.
Let me explain some things. And let me still go back to concept again. You see, that's what we call paradigm. Paradigm. You see, we don't offend one another. What we have is shift or different paradigm. You understand? Paradigm is the way you see things, the way you view things. The lens that you use to see something. So now, if I have a belief or I understand something this way, and you understand it this way, what I need to do is to understand it your way, so that we can flow. But if I'm insisting that I want to understand it my own way, or I want you to understand it my own way, without me looking at your own way. For instance, let me give an example. For instance, look at this analogy of 6 and 9.
Depending on where you're standing.
Depending on where you are standing. So if I'm able to look at it, so what we need in life is to have what we call paradigm shift. That paradigm, you must try to shift it.
Okay.
So once you shift it, you won't offend one another. You won't feel like, oh, this is like you're saying now. If his wife understood his position, it's her own to shift her paradigm.
Yes, she will shift.
And that is what she will understand. That word enduring. Because love on its own is to be enjoyed.
Okay.
Please let me do some instance.
I want to beg to differ in the sense that when I was going to get married, I decided not to marry somebody from my tribe.
Why?
I believe in the unity concept that Nigeria started having because we have many tribes. I didn't want to marry a Yoruba. So I married from another.
Why? Was
yeah,
there any
because
reason?
I wanted to get the richness of
wow.
another tribe, so that I understand them. We can build a better nation. I can have children that will be a national, international kind of mindset.
You were intentional.
Not just. I was intentional about that. But you see, my wife told me that she didn't know that I snore. Of course, probably I didn't know that I snore as well.
Yes.
Now, I'm just trying to point out something that endurance is part of trying to relate together. Because she said that if she had known, probably she wouldn't have married me.
Really?
Because for the rest of her life, she's going to be hearing that music, and she wasn't really very pleased with that. It happened when we got home from the marriage ceremony. Then I was so tired, and of course I just let out. I was like a full train, you know.
Steam going ahead.
Going ahead. And then I just suddenly woke up at 2 a.m. and I found her just staring at me and wondering, I mean, looking sad. I said, what's the matter? She said, man, that she couldn't sleep. So endurance started, you know, because there's no way she can get to, she knew that this is something I can't help really. But so she has to endure that. So love actually, I mean, it endures. The Bible says it bears all things.
All things.
And that is the idea of endurance, in the sense that we are different. And when our differences clash, that's one conflict. We need to understand each other first.
I think understanding is better than endurance.
Okay.
I think
okay.
Understanding is look. Let's start from the beginning.
The beginning. Okay, sorry, please, just a minute. Let's hear what, because he's been looking at us. Let me hear what the CEO of String Kids has to say, because words are put out there in the English language because they have a position in our life. The word is there. Just a minute. Let's him bring in his own. Let me ask you, Mr. String Kids, are you a romantic? When we say a love that endures, we're moving from a decade to 2 decades to 3 perhaps to longevity. How do you align that with romance? This word endure, does it fit what you are experiencing and what you want to build on?
Yeah, I want to believe endurance is part of growth of love.
Okay.
Yes. You were saying something concerning process of growing love, you know, making love to be solid. You mentioned something about, you know, enduring in a keke, and you put more like that. Oh, yeah, when you enjoy in a keke, and definitely you are heading towards a particular place, and when you get there, you move to a vehicle. From a vehicle, you move to a place. You move, you keep moving. Yeah, but if you don't endure, definitely you may not have that opportunity to get to that extent. I want to have this belief that in a relationship, it is necessary to endure. It is necessary to endure. I want to take myself as an example. You know, when I'm married and happily married, yes, my wife, there's something that happened during our university period, but my wife endured it. She endured, and we are fine now.
Oh,
we are
thank
fine
God for
now.
that.
So I want to say endurance is very important. You mentioned something about romantic. I believe in romantic very well. I believe in romantic.
Romance,
very,
man.
yes.
Because the song you opened the show with today,
was,
Lady in
took us
Red,
somewhere.
I know that you had a lady in mind. We give it up for the CEO
Yeah,
of
well
String
done,
Kids.
well done,
Yeah,
well done,
thank
well
you.
done. But let me say something. I'm going to go with Ogara Zak on this one. I'm your team. Okay. I'm going to say this. We're talking of endurance, but we need to make it clear out there. There are some situations one shouldn't endure when you're in a relationship.
Sure.
Because it could lead to a story that we don't want to tell.
Yes.
Do you understand? Because when we say endurance, it will make some young woman out there who is in a particular situation to say, oh, they said we should endure on NTA, so I'll stay there. If you're being beaten or there's violence against you, run for your life. I'm putting it out there because it's only someone who is alive that can enjoy a relationship. When we say endurance, there are some things that are dangerous that do threaten your life. You need to step out from that relationship. I just thought that you make it known.
Okay, let me ask Mr. Abdulrazak something. Why I asked him about romance is, you know, all of us are not cut from the same cloth, but we are here. That's why I can never diminish even my 10-year-old. Her opinion counts. I listen. I let her talk where adults talk sometimes, because nowadays kids have a say. If we're deciding something that concerns kids, I want them to have an opinion
in it.
We may not take it, but let them know they can be heard. We've seen our parents do 50 years. I know couples that have done 60. Love on its own, from what we have learned all through January when we began our love journey with music and fun, the reason we could dance was because this program, the NTA, has thrived over time, built on the hard work and endurance of millions of Nigerians. But the viewers love what they see. They love it because people endured difficult and challenging circumstances to build on that platform. So when we come here and we dance, it's not just the story of the music alone. It's speaking to many seasons, and some were challenging. But let me come back to where I'm talking about. Love is to be enjoyed, really, but can love alone build from a couple to a family, to a community, to a state, to a nation? Is love going to buy rice, gari, beans? Is love going to ferry you from your house here? It takes hard work. When you lose your job, is it good morning, my wife, I love you, and you sit back and she goes out to work? Are you not asking her indirectly to say, honey, because you believe in me, can you endure for now? Even when you say, I love you in the morning, and you are sitting back, no money to bring to the table, what are you asking her to do? I love you, baby. I love you, darling. But I don't have money today. You didn't have to add that. But when you tell her you love her, she knows you are telling her, honey, stand by me for now. The good times will be here again. Or are we missing the concept?
Yes, we are really missing so many things.
Okay,
so many
please,
things.
educate us.
You see, what you cannot define, you cannot understand. What is love?
Okay.
What is love? If you want to start from that angle, what is love? And the English language has made things so difficult for us. So difficult. It's a crazy language. It's only English that will have one word with so many meaning. So many meaning.
That's right.
Now, if I said, I love my cats. I said, I love my wife. I said, I love my house. Those are different meaning of love.
Yes, true.
And that is where the confusion is coming in now. Now, when you look at, you talked about Greek the other time. When you look at Greek word, Greek has different words for love.
Yes.
Different.
We have the filio.
Yes.
We have the filio. This one is talking about the love for friendship. If I say I love you, just because we are friends.
Yes, absolutely.
There's this love for eros. Sexual love.
Yes.
You understand? You know, sexual love. So if I said I love you, that's why we always tell the young ones that when someone says I love you, the first question you ask, what do you really mean? Which of the love are you talking about? You understand? We have stego. That's the love for family.
But you know what I asked you?
I'm coming
I
there.
said, can love
I'm
on
coming
its
there.
own
I'm coming
stand?
there. I'm coming there. This is the love that will stand now. That is the love they call the agape love. That is the love that will stand. That is the love that is not conditional.
Like yesterday we said.
You get it now? That is the love that comes. That is the love of God now. And God loves you not because of anything.
Yes.
Unconditional love. And that is the type of love. When you have it unconditional, you don't have cause to endure. You are understanding.
But in the Bible, there's a word used that the love that endureth. That very word.
This is the problem of words now. You see, until we understand words, you get it now. The words language is so crazy.
Okay, so used in that sense, what is it meant to connote?
For me, it's understanding.
Love that endureth.
Me is understanding. Love that is in understanding.
I think that we are.
So what's the difference with what we are saying? It's the same thing.
No, the point is this: if you understand
love that
something,
endureth,
it produces endurance.
Yes.
If you understand it, for example, what you can, there is this concept called serenity, the serenity prayer. You see, something you can change, you change.
The one you
something you can't change, you accept.
Yes.
Now that acceptance gives you that ability to endure and to go through whatever it is.
Yes.
So that is so we are saying the same thing.
Terminology.
I don't like that.
No, I don't know.
It's negative.
I'm kind of with
When you accept, perfect. Don't say when you endure. Because for me, inside love is enjoyment.
Let me help. I think I'm Team Oga Razak, right? Let me explain. Now, for example, Oga, I'm taking your example. Now I discovered that the man I just married snores. I am not going to endure. I will turn that snoring into music in my head. And I have accepted it. So each time I hear that snoring, it sends me to sleep. Grrr, sleep. grrr, as you're snoring, I'm sleeping. That is me accepting the fact that my love snores.
You change your perception.
Yes, I change my
Your
perception. I think that's what
perception,
he's
that's the
saying.
paradigm shift you're talking
Accept
about.
it. Don't enjoy
Enjoy it.
that you are in pain, you're
You're
snoring,
good.
and then you are trying to sleep. That means you've never accepted it. So what he is saying is that when you have yourself in a situation in love that is negative, it's either you're able to accept or you walk away. Don't endure, don't be in pain, but we are used to. So I think that's
But
what
we have
he's saying.
seen
It's
that.
the
What
word,
we are
man.
saying,
The
though,
understanding of the word.
our own understanding from time memorial is that endurance has one side, good and negative. In fact, we have people that bear the name endurance.
Yes,
What
true.
are they sharing with the world? Patience, take us to our next
Anyway.
vacation. When we come back,
When we come
we are
back,
still here.
We are still here.
yes,
Oga
we are
is
still here.
We'll
Oga
trash
Razak
it
is
further.
here. I mean, it's all different opinions
Yes.
and all geared to a beautiful ending.
Yeah.
For our love to last forever. Now we're going to look at the sense of entitlement and its impact. When people begin to feel entitled in a relationship, what impact does it leave? Sophian will answer this and tell us more.
Sense of entitlement is a belief, it's an expectation that you deserve some things, whether you are having an input to the output or the success or not. We just have this belief, we just have this personality trait that people owe us.
I want to be treated well, better than everybody. I want you to treat me with respect without me considering respecting you in return. I want you to be loyal to me in everything you do without considering me or being loyal myself.
And because of the idea that we have that people owe us, we expect so much from them, from that relationship, from that person, to the point that you are not investing anything, but you are expecting so much from that relationship. Your expectation is high. It may be financial, it may be emotional, it may be anything.
Entitlement is everywhere. Your friend, your colleague in the office wants you to do more than he or she ever contribute to to you. For instance, taking shifts. Oh, please cover me up. And she's doing it consistently, regularly. But you never, anytime you want to ask for such little favor, she's not ever available.
Sense of entitlement is a personality trait. Anytime we come into any relationship, we have to see it as an agreement, as a partnership, as something that can work together. And most of the time, I always make people to understand that relationship is not about controlling. Relationship is about leadership. It's about making your partner a better version of yourself.
Even if the family, you are always like supporting your siblings, you are always there for them, and something is eating you up, and they can't even come to your rescue.
The moment we have this idea that somebody owes us and you have this mentality, automatically it brings imbalance into the relationship. And the moment imbalance comes in, the other person will suffer for our personality trait defects. Okay? And this is where the problem with sense of entitlement comes in.
There was a time I felt a friend of mine was never available. For instance, if she sent me a task because I think I have some skills that she doesn't possess, and if she will ask me to do some things for her, and immediately I'm done. But each time I sent some things to her for her own input, she's never available.
Sense of entitlement is a major personality trait. And if one is not even careful, it could lead to narcissism.
If you are in any relationship, self-awareness, self-evaluation matters a lot. I always check, what am I contributing to this, my partner, more than I'm receiving? Or am I receiving more than I'm giving? So all these things will always help us to guide us and support and help us build this relationship. Also, when you feel undervalued or being used, it's also necessary for you to communicate it with your partner and let them know how you feel when all these communications are.
Very interesting one there. You know, entitlement comes at some point. Some people, maybe it's the way they are raised, they think I'm a man, I'm entitled to a certain position because this is who I am. And the woman is like, okay, I'm a woman. I'm in this relationship. This is how I was told it ought to be for me. But like we've been saying here, language, perception, you know, the idea of compromise, what you believe, what you want out of something, all those are very, very key elements to cementing a great relationship. Okay, you know, the string keys, Mr. String Keys is here. He has a profile that will tell us how the journey got to where it is today, so that we're celebrating him on Weekend Deal. Let's see his profile, and then he will do something amazing from his table for us. See the song. Let me especially commend you. You took Patience somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Patience was gone. She had already boarded a flight. She was heading to Heathrow. Nice one. You know, I wonder what life will be without music.
Honestly, no, don't
and
even
if
go there.
we didn't even have the words
Yes.
to put some feelings into perspective.
Yeah.
Perspective, really.
Yes.
Where would we be?
Honestly.
Though instruments have a place,
Yay.
but music with
Music
verbiage
is
has its
life.
own place too.
Yes.
If those songs didn't have verbiage, where would they know to strum? Where would String Keys strum on his instrument? Give it up again!
Well done, well done, well done. That was
I'm
beautiful.
Team String Keys. Nice one.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
Messages,
So,
Patience?
yes, messages. When we are forming teams here, we have a beautiful team out there that's always supporting us on our program.
Yeah.
Again, I say we love you. Okay, so good morning, everyone in the house. My name is Joy. Please, I want to know, what if your mother-in-law does not like you and the family members too don't like you, and they get to your husband now to look down on you, and you have 2 children, please tell me. And I still love my husband. You were going to talk to that, speak to that. And they say, good morning. I am Chiamaka watching from Enugu. Your program is so educative. But it's not all love that can be endured, though. I nearly died because I am enduring. I am very okay now that I am single. Thanks a lot. You ladies are great. Okay. Let me take another one. What if a woman loves a man, but the man doesn't like the woman? There's no love, Jenna.
How can your love thrive without reciprocity?
I don't know this one. This was the last. Let me take this one. There are many messages, but let me, please help me explain this because I don't get it. My husband and I have arguments a lot, and at the end, I'm always the wrong one. He says I'm here to bring him down. Just any time I ask for something from him. Just when I started doing something for myself, he said that I'm wasting time, that he is not sure I can make it, that I just want to waste. Right now, I have lost faith in myself, and I am battling with self-esteem. Yet he says he loves me. I am at the position where separation is the only option I have now. Please advise me. I speak to that, please. She's losing her self-esteem.
This is very sad. Because most of the time we don't teach one another the fundamentals, like our co-presenter also says that. We need to understand, because behavior, human behavior, is as a result of what you believe, the values you have, and the emotions, the feelings that you go through. So you see people behaving in certain ways and you wonder, why are they behaving this way? Well, they are responsible for their behavior, but what are they being taught? What is the seed that is producing this fruit in them? So we need to teach the right values, the right things. We need to understand that when you are a child, you behave like a child, you reason like a child because you are egocentric. It's like the whole world around you serves you. Yeah. So when you are hungry, you cry. That's a child. But you see, Paul said, when you are matured, you grow out of childishness, you start thinking better. God is now in the center of your life. Now God tells you what life is all about. Jesus Christ came. And he came to give his life. He said, I've not come to be served, but to give my life. So that's what love is. Yes. It's a deliberate decision to serve, to be concerned about the welfare of another. It's not about feeling. It's not about what the person gives you or not give you. Now, so when we are marrying, somebody said that the mother-in-law doesn't like her and so forth. She doesn't exist in that marriage for the mother-in-law to like her. She's not even going to be able to control that. But the point is that the husband who is marrying a wife must know that that relationship is primary. The one he sustained with his mother is now secondary. And that is why the Bible says that when two marry, they move away from their parents to start their own home.
Cleave together.
And to cleave together. Now, so if the husband starts taking his mother's side against his wife, I think he's done himself very big disfavor. What kind of
relationship? So what should she do now? She's asking for advice. Does she go for therapy? Does she talk to where should she run to right now?
No, but I think when you finish, let's hear from Mr. Oluwole, about perception and the journey forward. Sir, wrap up.
Okay, so I think that the solution to things is for people to change their narrative, their orientation, their knowledge. Seek counseling. Okay. For example, when people come to me, I try to educate them about what true love is. I try to educate them about love, about God himself, so that they can actually start having hope. Because God gives hope. Love gives hope. Because everything about God is love, really. God is love. True. So once we understand him, we start having hope. We change, our behavior starts changing. It is because of God that I was able to understand that if somebody slaps me, for example, he may have a problem. It's not, the slap is hurting, yes, but you see, I'll be more concerned about him. What is his problem? Why is he behaving the way he's behaving? So I'll ask him, or her, I'm sure I must have offended you somehow. Please, I'm sorry to have done. I don't know, I'm not even thinking I'm wrong. Yes. I don't know whether, I'm not even accepting that I'm wrong. But I'll say, I'm sorry that you feel this way. Can you tell me what I've done wrong so that next time I will not do that? So that because I'm thinking of peace. I'm a child of peace. I love God and I want that person to understand and to grow out of that kind of emotional upset and so forth.
Let me ask Mr. Layode. That's a very interesting perception. But religion is good. The agape love is good. We've known of it from time.
Yes.
And I would say it's a privilege to know God. Not everybody does, not everybody has, not everybody intends to. And before we knew God, we had ancestors who, even some people these days, they worship Shango and Thunder and the rest. Are we saying that if you don't know God, you can't love? And that religion or spirituality must come into love? Before we started practicing Christianity or Islam, as it were,
He's a Muslim, by the way.
wasn't love thriving? So where is the place of non-religion in love? Are they lacking something, or is there no love with those who love Shango, Thunder, and the rest? Because they are practicing it, not just in Nigeria, but different parts of the continent. And we know many are in union.
Yeah, you see, the problem, I always like a theory which we call the problem tree.
Okay.
The problem tree is just like a tree that has a lot of problems by the branches. So if you have a problem, for instance, one branch is corruption. Then you now say, because this is a problem, corruption, let me cut that branches. When you cut that branch, you still have the branch, it will still grow. So what they do in problem theory is that you go to the roots. When you cut the roots, you kill the problem. So most times we don't go to the roots. Now the problem of saying God or religion and how they have been doing it before is the misconception of what love is. We think love is feelings. When you see someone else, I don't have that feeling, that there's no that vibe for him. But in the days of old, love is a choice. You understand now? And there's nothing like feelings at all. We know quite all right. Look at, okay, let me give you an instance. A queen. Queen then, she will just be passing around like this, and the king will say, yes, I want to marry her. Bring her for me. If they are bringing, she may be even crying, no. But when she enters, the next day you see her with the with the crown, and she's enjoying it. You get what I'm saying? So love is a choice. It's not, you don't need to have that feeling. But today we like trying to bring other feeling to say until we see that feeling. When he was talking the other time, he said he doesn't want to marry someone from his tribe. Now, if it's a choice, it's his choice that he's making. So now, doesn't mean that now, if you now say, I love this person, I'm feeling for this person down. No, he already has a choice. This is where I'm going. So if you don't, there's this word they say, you cannot future in the future that you don't picture. You already picture a future that this is where I want to future.
And that is why the rhymer.
Yeah, and that is why he is going and he got his target. And now, when those questions were coming in, I was also looking, okay, the mother-in-law doesn't love me. You see, there are some questions we need to ask. What kind of a woman that her mother-in-law will not love? Wait. Yeah, it's a question now. It's a question I'm asking now. You ask the question now, what kind of a woman? From the concept he said, if somebody slap me, you want to look at it from the perspective of that person now. Okay, now, if my mother-in-law doesn't love me, I will not blame your mother-in-law immediately. I want to look at you first. Most times, it is not the person, it is you can be the problem now. Then we now say, what kind of a woman will her mother-in-law not love? What kind of a woman that her husband will not support? You get it now? What kind of a relationship will be losing the concept of love that person says? What kind of relationship? Then the first thing is, then bring it back to the principle. You see, this word principle, this life is sweet, if you know how it works. Because it works with principle. Principle is a natural law. Anything that goes up must come down. And as that physical principle work with life, it also work with our interaction. There's also a principle on how we do things. You get it now? If you buy a car,
can you give us like solutions, because they are wits
People
end.
Let me give you. Okay, let me.
They need help.
Yeah, let me give you one solution. Sometimes this is solution. Now you see it. You see, importance is determined by usefulness. If you are not useful to me, you are not important to me. So the first thing is, how useful are you? Have you gone to an ATM machine before? This ATM, where you collect money. You see 3 machines. and you see people lying up in one. Then you now come, maybe like the last person you came, we say, what is happening? What is happening here? They say, what?
It's not working.
They are not dispensing.
They are not dispensing.
That's why people are going to the one that is dispensing.
Absolutely.
Then the question is, what are you dispensing? So if you are not dispensing something, if you are not giving us something that is of value, and that is where they will be placing you. So one solution is for you to understand your personality and understand your purpose.
But can I ask you a question?
Please do.
In times past, we thought, what we understood was a woman's her value is at its high point when she's a main support to her husband in every way, like raising the children, contributing to the home, giving him advice. Women have played that role over generations, even beyond their educational capacity. Is that changing now?
Of course.
Being a man,
Very
know, beyond that, are men asking for more?
No. Look at it. This one again is another perspective now. This one, and this is really what is causing the problem of relationship. Why? Because women have now started switching their roles. Yes, okay. They call the problem of identity. Women are trying to become men.
Intentionally?
No, not intentional. No. Men are equally trying to become women.
Okay. Wow.
So there is a switch of identity. We don't know who you are. You have given us the function of what women do. This is what they are supposed to do: take care of the home, they do this, do that, do this. It started from World War II, when all men went for war. Men are supposed to bring provision to the house. Woman cooks it.
Yes.
You get it now?
Okay.
Men build the house. Women take care of the house. Men impregnate their wife. Women take care of the children. You see, this role, everybody has its own. Now, when all men went for war, everybody went for war, women are alone in the house. Things start getting deteriorated. You get it now? So now, when men needed something in war, they need, women, come out. You become tailor. You become mechanic. You become shoemaker. Now start doing something. So let us take it to the war.
That's where things change.
That is where things change. Women started working, doing what men come. When men came back from war, men became useless. They cannot do anything again.
This opinion is almost chauvinistic. A lot of people will look at it that you're being a bit chauvinistic because a woman empowering herself and bringing money to the house should not in any way affect the dynamics of marriage. But then again,
that's where it started from. That's the role that is changing, and that's what is happening. That's the role that is changing.
But you know what? Let me just put some things. You know, it says something about perspective. Okay, we'll be going to Mina shortly, but before we go, because there's a whole lot of wisdom, and you know, it can't be held in this room. We're going to push it all out there, and they'll make of it what they will. We are being taught now, from what you have said, in spite of what happened that time, even as we are now, one couple, man and woman, must find what will work for them.
Yes.
As you are multitasking and multidimensional, don't forget the originality of your role.
I think that role play, expectations and so forth, they still go back again to the concept of love. Understand what love is. Okay. For example, if a woman loves the husband, she may be a businesswoman. But you see, because she loves the home, she knows and understands her role in the home. The love helps her to play her role, no matter what she's doing, what she's bringing. Because women are now breadwinners.
They're winning the bread at the bakery. Yeah.
Women are now what?
Breadwinners, and we are bringing up the bakery.
They are not breadwinner before. You see, you are getting it now.
No, we get it. They are getting it.
From the road.
Wait, sorry, sir. Just a minute. You know where I went to him? When you centered love on spirituality and religion. That's where I moved from that. There were many times hitherto where there was no religion, there was no... that's why I went home to
Yes, but
ponder.
but there's value.
Okay.
Okay, because even if you say
we are coming back.
the God of thunder, or
There
something,
was no time that there was no religion. No.
Yes.
There's a divinity.
There was no time that there was
and
no
the
religion.
divinity, to believe that
Okay,
the divinity
good.
gives you the moral standard to live your life.
That's the
So
religion. Okay, that's the
so that
religiosity
religion
of
is still
things.
part of
Okay,
it.
Yeah.
we're coming back to this very interesting matter because in all of this, I use the word surmounting and surviving. Amidst perspective-driven, opinion-driven, multidimensional, we all are survivors of different systems. That's why we can thrive and share testimonials and wisdom. Let's go to Mina and see what they are making of survivors like us and many others over there in Niger State. Please take it from here.
Relationships built on trust, love, and resilience often face trials, financial hardship, health challenges, or even distance can shake the strongest of bonds.
You recollect this picture?
Very well. I can remember.
You can see your big stomach here. See this one?
Some friendships, like Emmanuel and Yakubo's, have endured years of separation. Through letters, calls, and visits, their bond grew stronger.
What has kept this relationship over the years? It is the sheer value and interest we have with my friends, particularly Yakubu Tegbedai, who lives in Abuja. The distance actually is not a barrier, but the communication aspect. When you keep communicating frequently, it's as good as if you are living in the same roof. When a friend is honest, is dependable. So, having the same ideology keeps this friendship going.
Emmanuel has been my friend for up to 15 years now, and we are still together. So no matter what, since you have known each other and the truth, what your partner can do.
For Kende and Michael, financial struggles tested their marriage, but mutual support and patience kept their love alive.
So with the understanding and the love that exists between me and my wife, I really thank God, because that understanding has made us to make some adjustment so that we can still fit in the society. And my wife has been help to me in aspect of courage, because whenever I try to be discouraged, she's always in the position to encourage me that it shall be well, it shall be well. That is her language, that no matter what you are facing today, by tomorrow will be better. That we should work towards the greatness of tomorrow by sacrificing some aspect for the day. And as long as she asks, that we can build our tomorrow today. And that is what we are doing right now, trying to build our tomorrow today.
Despite financial difficulty, patience and teamwork kept us going. Then we joined hands together as a family. We do things in common. We agree with each other, and we cut our coat according to our size.
Forgiveness is key. Without it, even the strongest relationships crumble.
The moment a marriage is being consummated, contracted and consummated, there are high expectations, there are targets. And since some of these targets cannot be achieved at all the times, the next thing is for couples to learn to forgive each other. And the meaning of this is that there should be that understanding. Because if there's no understanding, that can eventually lead to grudges. And of course, there will be a kind of pittle against each other as far as the living is concerned. So forgiveness here has to do with pardoning, taking it to law, overlooking some of the grievances that are happening in the home, and ensuring that the couples are on the same page.
To build relationships that endure, communicate, show appreciation, and most importantly, forgive. Strong relationships don't just happen, they are nurtured. Because true relationships survive the test of time.
Okay, so it's time for us to take the papers. I wish you can see or hear what happens during the commercials. This studio never goes cold. It's even hotter during the commercials. Okay, well, let's take the papers first. And I'll begin with Sunday Vanguard. The paper is loaded with a whole lot. I will take from the top of the masthead. It says Ganduje El-Rufai spark fresh row over North position on Tinubu. That is on page 5. And then the big one here that I would take is a horror in our hospitals. How chronic lack of births kill patients. Now, this is just heartbreaking. I don't know what it's all about, but if you want to know like me, you have to go to page 10 of Sunday Vanguard. Oh, yeah, what do you have, Mr. Razak?
All right, I have the nations here. And the bold headline here is about PDP crisis. Said police probe alleged forgery of party's constitution. And I have some...
riders to the story.
Okay, the riders. Said South Zonal Secretary suspended over unauthorized statement. Former Kaduna Governor Yero, ex-senators, others dump PDP, join APC. And defections from party driven by stomach infrastructure. That is Tambuwa that said that.
Okay, I think that's a headline for you. Beautiful. Sir.
Yes, I have with me Sunday Telegraph.
Okay.
And the major headline talks about PDP secretary, how Damagun sabotaged NWC's decision. But you see, what is interesting about this the headlines here is what Adebanjo's eldest son said. He said, what my father will tell Awo when he meets him.
Oh, they're going to see. Oh my God, that's quite emotional. They're going to meet up there.
May his soul rest in peace, and may God continue to grant the family fortitude to bear irreplaceable loss. Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So well done. The Sunday Tribune is next. There's still much talk about the $150 million said bribe. And there's been talk about PDP over and over again. But let's talk about the encomiums for late Pa Ayo Adebanjo. Ohaneze says he was a paragon of friendship towards the Igbos. And if you want to know more about that and read what the ONI is saying, what the PDP is saying, NADECO, as well as many others, you need to turn to pages 4 and 5 of the Sunday Tribune. As you know, my favorite gist in every of this one is
Osime.
Beyond Osime, I celebrate the amazing, young, talented people who give it all for Nigeria over and over again. But it doesn't hurt that Osime is here again. Sports League Osime, UEFA Osime. Well, he's saying here he's going to help Galatasaray that they must advance. I know when it comes to Osime, by fire, by force. If he says he will do it, he will do it. He will put his best effort into every assist and into every shot. So Nigerians are doing us proud worldwide. We continue to celebrate you. Keep raising the bar and upping your game for Nigeria. One love. But we are at the peak of the program now. Godwin, you are there. Tell us what's happening with Sports Summit. Take it away at this time.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That was amazing. Well done, sir.
Strinkies!
Team Strinkies. Okay, please, we have some messages and we'll say thank you so much for your messages. Somebody says, my wife exhibits so much greenness. I'm trying to understand. Selfishness, self-centeredness. Her money is hers and my money is ours. Yet we have projects that is ours but funded by me alone. Okay. Okay. There are some I can't read out. The words are too strong for national television. People are hurting.
Euphemize.
Yeah, well, tell me I'm not as good as you. The words are too strong. I'm thinking of how to even. Good morning to everyone in the house. My name is Joy. Please, I wonder how I'm going to go on because the situation is not good at all. Good morning, presenter. When a man loses his part of loving his wife and the woman loses her own part of submission, instead of dying, invite a pastor who joined you together or a professional who will help both of you, because people have died due to this endurance. No one can come back to life. I love your show. Keeping it up. Comfort Ame from Jos. Comfort, thank you so much. Always involve a professional. That's what she's saying. And then somebody said, okay, somebody messages. Someone said, my husband and I are okay. Everything is okay, but I fell out of love with my husband. I have tried to retrace my step. It's not working. I like him. I cannot love him again. Strong
And she
things.
didn't say if anything happened?
She said everything is okay. She even said everything is okay, but she fell out of love. Is that even possible? The man is doing what he used to do. The man is fine and okay. But she said she fell out of love.
Perspective.
Yes, perspective.
Enjoy. The enjoyment, there's no sugar again.
And then there are too many messages here. But this one says, is love there when your lover hides things from you? Is it still love when your lover is not telling you? So these are the questions. I'll speak to some of them if you remember. Your final words.
So in your summation, please encompass some solutions.
I think that human beings, there's hope for us.
Okay.
In any relationship, there's hope. People can change, but they need to change their values, their perception, and so God came to tell us how to be human. And He says, you can love, you can change, you can have hope. Okay, in the world today, we don't have peace. Why don't we have peace? No matter all the soldiers, all kinds of things that have been done, peacekeepers and so forth, we still don't have peace because the King of Peace and His recommendations have been ignored.
Wow.
So if God says love, agape love is the highest kind of love, He sacrifices Himself for people and so forth, why are we not listening? So we can change. I changed. When I first married, I thought I knew how I was going to be married, but my wife started teaching me.
Wow.
And I started listening. And because I was receptive, I was open. Just
yes,
like I
a teachable spirit.
I had to learn because I wanted it to work. And of course, we had conflicts. And there was a time for about a whole year, we were just really burning love as cold as ice. Wow. But eventually I said, no, this is not going to be the last chapter of my life. Let me be the best husband I can be. And so I started making effort. I started trying to read, understand, and all that. I started asking people, mentors, and so forth. Human beings change. We can mature. We can actually change our perception. Something you hate before, you can come to love it, even feeling emotionally, and because you have changed your perception. So I think that is the hope that I can give to people.
Like this.
They can seek help.
Please, this message, I'm sorry. It says, my name is Tayo. My girlfriend is dating my friend. What should I do? You can add that to an answer.
So,
I don't even know what that means.
This is our closing. Add that to your submission.
Add that to your submission.
Our dear philosopher.
I don't understand what she meant anyway.
He said,
okay,
his girlfriend is dating his friend. I don't understand.
I mean, she's cheating on him.
Yeah.
We've not even brought cheating or the third party into any of our convo all through. So please add that to the advice on perspective and language.
On faithfulness
and philosophizing.
Okay, let me just summarize everything into one. You see, the problem, anytime you have a problem, what you need to go to is to go for the solution. And the solution, aside from Like counselors now, you know there are different counselors now. There are conventional counselors. And there are some, like he's saying now, whenever he's talking to someone, he will take you to the presence of God.
Yes.
Okay. And that is the best way. That's the best way to counsel. And when we say counseling now, you see, most times what we'll do, look at this word manual. You know manual? Manual, when you come with your phone, it comes with manual.
Yes.
And what does the manual say? The manual is the instruction on how to operate the phone.
Yeah.
Then the Almighty also give us a manual. See, the word manual means mind of the manufacturer.
Okay.
The mind of the manufacturer.
I never saw it that way.
You get it now? So if you want to solve a problem, you now go to the mind of the maker, the mind of the creator.
Okay.
What does the creator say about this?
Okay.
What is the solution that the creator say we should do on this? Okay. So you are now using the mind of the creator to answer the problem.
Okay.
So if you have that manual, most of us don't read it. And because we don't read the manual of our phones too.
That's true.
But before you wrap up, we have less than a minute. Can I just say something? Yeah. You know, we've often said that it takes two to tango. Sometimes some people are listening to you both. They've listened in the past. They are willing. But there sometimes can be one party who is not listening, who is not hearing. When it comes to a point where you cannot communicate with somebody, what do you do at that point? You've taken all the advice. You've read the manual, you've gone back to it severally. What happens then?
Yeah, you know, when you are talking to the manual, there's also the side of prayers.
Okay.
No matter how strong a rock is, the Almighty put water inside rock.
So you must never give up.
No matter how strong a heart of a man or a woman is, can be softened even with prayers. So when you take it to the Almighty, you tell him before you know the person you are saying, he doesn't change, he doesn't do this.
In closing, all of things have been said here, and we have come to the end of this amazing show. Amazing show. You're going to play, but my advice is to tell your whose girlfriend is dating your friend. Please. Break her up. Break up with her. How can you date my friend?
An amazing masterclass. Thank you so much.
How can you date his friend?
Thank you.
I'm not going
Team
to
Street
break up. Give her breakfast.
Let's go.